Most of the time, we get contracted to do an event. Let's say it's from 6 to 12 or 4 to 10 or 8 to 2 or whatever the case might be. We perform our contracted time, everything goes fine. It's just another day. But then there are other times when a gig just goes too long. And this may be going into overtime, or it might just be that a 6 hour event that you've contracted ideally should end in 4 hours. You're in the moment, you see this, you know this is the best for everybody, the client, the guest, the hall, you. But for some reason, either you don't end it or you can't end it, and you keep going and things get sloppy. I don't know. I had a situation a while back where that happened to me. I made a judgment call, it was the wrong one. Things got sloppy. An event that otherwise would have been really nice if it would have ended a little earlier. Let me give you an analogy. And I swear this will wrap back up into DJing. I promise you. I like movies, and one of the movies that I like is Independence Day from 1999. It's not my favorite movie, but I like it. It's a good movie. And there's a lot of stars in it. The big star is Will Smith. He's the big A-list actor. He's the one on the marquee. And he's got a lot of one-liners in the movie. And I guess they're funny. But the character that was my favorite was the one that Randy Quaid played. If you've seen the movie, he was the one who was the crop duster. And he claimed that he had been abducted by aliens and had an anal probe and all this stuff. And everybody laughed him off. He was that crazy guy. I thought he was great. And he provided some necessary comic relief in the film. I look forward to his time on screen. I saw a director's cut of Independence Day a couple of years ago, and there were more scenes with Randy Quaid. Unfortunately, it painted a very different picture of who he was. He was a mean, angry drunk who was mean to his kids, nasty to his kids. And then when he did say funny things later on, they weren't funny to me anymore because I didn't like him anymore. What had happened was, it was written just like it was shot, with all these scenes in it. And then in editing, somebody decided, you know what? If we remove these scenes, I think it's a better film. So they edited the film, and that's the one that most people saw in the theaters. But then somebody had the bright idea to pull out a director's cut. I don't know, sells more DVDs or whatever you buy these days, more digital downloads, because it's extended, it's something we haven't seen before. It doesn't mean it's better. Sometimes it's just longer, more drawn out, and it ruins a good thing. It's the same thing with gigs. So I had this event where it trickled down to, I don't know, 10, 12 people. And the client was cool with me ending. The hall was ecstatic about it. I turned the lights down. The lights had come up in the hall. I went to the bar to thank everybody and hope, they had a good time and all that kind of stuff. And this one small group of people who were pretty intoxicated, and it was still an open bar, were talking about songs I didn't play that they wanted to hear. And what I should have done is said, yeah, well, I'm really sorry about that, but I'm glad you had a good time. Walked away and packed my gear up. But stupid me said, oh, well, you know what? We actually have another 2 hours. I could just play these songs for you real quick. And I did, and it got sloppy, and they got nasty. A fight broke out. I wasn't involved in it, but it did. Man, if I would have put a fork in this gig, when I knew that it was over and successful and everyone was happy, it would have been so much better. But I didn't, and I'm ashamed of myself for the ego that I had to think that I could pull this off. Because I knew, everything in my gut told me this was going to go bad. If you don't end now, it's going to go bad. Oh, well, a couple songs aren't going to hurt. Stupid. It's like the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other. The devil's saying, do it, and the angel's like, nope, they're good. You've been paid. Everybody's happy. Pack up, go home, and enjoy a couple extra hours with Blanca before she goes to bed. Nope, devil won. And the client was okay with it. and they were still happy and they were apologetic for the things that happened with their guests that they had that caused a problem. But man, there wouldn't have been any problem at all if I just ended it early. So, I'm not about just complaining here. I'm about solutions too. I try not to do a video unless I've got some kind of resolve that I can offer. I didn't at the time when this happened. I didn't do a video on it. But I did make a post on social media about just having a few extra people at the event, or a few people left. They won't go home. They'll dance to anything. It's sloppy. Please, just shoot me, kind of thing. I think it was MJ. I'm pretty confident it was MJ, so I'll give him credit for this. Said that he has it in his contract that if there's 10 or less people at an event left, he reserves the right to call it quits, to shut it down. I like that. I like it a lot. If you read between the lines on something like that, a clause in your contract, it doesn't mean you're going to shut it down if there's only 10 people left. You could do an event where there's 10 people left and they're a great 10 people and you love playing for them, or they're just hanging out, having a good time, no problems. Fine, you don't have to shut down, but you reserve the right to do it if something's telling you it's the right thing to do. I think that's a really good idea. It's really in everybody's best interest. What do you think? Right down here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I appreciate you so much for all your likes and subscriptions and comments and all that fun stuff. See you soon. Practice and enjoy.